Alright, so the playoffs are here, and with the Eagles wildcard matchup with the Packers right around the corner, they just got a huge update on Jalen Hurts' concussion that is very promising, as all signs are pointing to QB1 making his return to the field this week against Green Bay. Speaking of which, it seems that Saquon Barkley has put the Packers on notice, as a few different guys just had some really interesting comments on the superstar running back. Plus, in some unfortunate news, Eagles offensive coordinator Kellen Moore is already getting head coaching interviews, as his days in Philly could be numbered. But still, why is the OC saying that he's not focused on that at all? Well, we're going to talk about that and all the other latest Eagles news starting right now. Hey guys, welcome to the Philly Fan 21 channel. If you're new, I'm Evan and I cover all things Philadelphia Eagles. And I kind of can't believe I'm saying this, but it's officially playoff time, as 18 weeks of the regular season have flown by, and now all the attention for the Birds is on the Green Bay Packers, as of course the two teams will be facing off at 4:30 p.m. Sunday on Wildcard Weekend, and as I said in my video yesterday, it's going to be a really fun matchup. But before we get 100% locked in on the playoffs as fans, I think this is the perfect time to real quick just reflect on and appreciate what we just saw from this Eagles team in the regular season, because it truly was special. I mean, this was a team that was coming off one of the biggest collapses in NFL history just last season, but they were able to bounce back in a big way with the franchise record tying 14 wins on the year, which by the way, they've only done that twice, and both instances have come in the past 3 seasons with Nick Sirianni at the helm. So that's certainly super impressive, and Sirianni has definitely quieted a lot of the criticism by doing that. And the Eagles defense also did a similar thing, as following a season where they ranked near the bottom of the league, Vic Fangio stepped in and with the help of some key additions, they completely turned things around, as the unit has now officially finished as the #1 overall ranked defense in the entire NFL, which marks the first time the Birds have done that since 1991. So that's pretty amazing if you ask me, but what's even more amazing is what Saquon Barkley was able to do, as he just had an absolutely historic season while helping lead the Eagles offense to a top 10 finish, as Barkley set career highs and franchise records for both rushing yards and scrimmage yards in a single season, while also winning the rushing title. And his rushing yards total of 2,005 yards makes him the 9th player ever to finish over 2,000 yards and ranks him 8th all time. So it was certainly an unreal season for the first-year Eagles running back, and one that I'm sure made Giants fans everywhere absolutely sick. Speaking of which, remember that pretty hilarious ad Saquon just did where he trolled Giants owner John Mara?
I heard some of you were having trouble sleeping, so I wrote you a lullaby. Rockabye baby, awaken your bed, as the thought of 2000 swirls in your head. It sure is tough to lose sleep over football. Not for me though. Good night to you all.
Yeah, well, Mara just issued a response, and what he said was pretty great.
Yesterday, just before the game, I told him I was very upset with him based on our relationship of so many years. And he said, "What do you mean?" I said, "The least you could have done was ask me to be in the commercial with you." I said, "I could have been tossing and turning, and it would have been a great..." I said, "There is an acting gene in our family, it's not just my nieces."
I honestly think it's cool that Mara can be a good sport about the whole thing, and I think it's pretty clear that him and Barkley still have a solid relationship. That said, again, I'm sure Mara is still absolutely sick with how things have played out with Saquon this year, because it's just got to be a gut punch to see your best player go to arguably your biggest rival, have a career season, and now have the chance to go help the Eagles win a Super Bowl. And obviously, first up is the Green Bay Packers, and ahead of the matchup, it seems that Barkley has put his opponent on notice, as Green Bay seems to recognize that slowing down Saquon is going to have to be one of, if not their biggest priority. And ahead of the matchup, multiple Packers commented on facing Saquon Barkley, and they know that they're in for a really big challenge. As head coach Matt LaFleur said, quote, "Obviously, the season he's had is dynamic. He hurt us when we played him the first game of the season. He's a guy that you absolutely have to have eyes on." And on top of that, Barkley's former teammate safety Xavier McKinney said, quote, "He's a dynamic player. He's good in the run game. He's really good in the passing game too. So he does a lot of things well. He's one of the best we have in this league. He knows how I feel about him, so I'm not going to keep hyping him up too much. He's just a really good player, man, and we've got to be on our P's and Q's, or he's one of those guys that can wreck a game, so we've got to be aware of that." So yeah, I mean, again, based on those comments, it's clear that Barkley has Green Bay's attention, and stopping him is going to be at the top of their list of priorities this week, because if they can't do that, then like McKinney said, Saquon, along with that Eagles offensive line, can completely wreck this game. And looking at it from the other side, if you're the Eagles, you got to feel confident that Saquon can take over this game, as the last time these two teams met back in week 1, Barkley had a ton of success and scored 3 total touchdowns in his Eagles debut. Plus, you know that Saquon is going to be super fired up for this one, with it being his first home playoff game and also having a legit chance at winning the Super Bowl. So, personally, I'm super excited to watch Saquon in his first playoff game with the Eagles, and I'm super confident that he can have a ton of success. And with the playoffs now beginning, it seems like things could be lining up for the Birds to go on a deep run, as somehow Philly's made it to this point with pretty much their entire roster healthy, because if Jalen Hurts does end up suiting up on Sunday, then that'll mean that all 22 of the Eagles starters will be out there to open the playoffs, which is just incredible. The key phrase there, though, is if Jalen Hurts does suit up, as with him not having practiced since suffering the injury back in Week 16, his status is obviously still a bit up in the air, and Nick Sirianni didn't exactly do much to quiet the noise when asked about Hurts' concussion on Monday.
As you put the game plan together, is it with the intention of Jalen as the starting quarterback this weekend?
Yeah, I have no new information for you guys. Like I said yesterday, it's progressing through the protocol.
Are you able to say if he's in the building today?
I got no new info for you guys here today. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so I mean, that's pretty much what we've come to expect from Sirianni at this point when it comes to giving us updates on Hurts' concussion. However, some people seem to have taken the fact that Hurts is still in concussion protocol as a bad sign for his chances to play against the Packers on Sunday, when in reality, it really doesn't mean anything. As for Hurts to officially clear protocol, the final step of that is for him to practice and then report no symptoms the next day. And the Birds won't be back out on the practice field until tomorrow. So again, as I said in my video yesterday, it's really just going to be all about tomorrow and whether Jalen is out there or not, and then we can go from there. And at this point, it seems like all signs are pointing to Jalen returning this week, as Ruben Frank of NBC Sports Philadelphia actually offered a big update on Hurts immediately following the Eagles' win over the Giants.
Yeah, so he looks fine. I ran into him in the hallway. Not allowed to talk to him because he's in the protocol, but, you know, he didn't have dark glasses on or anything. He was walking with Kenny Pickett and getting a smoothie at the smoothie bar.
Can you imagine if we had smoothie bars and we
The
would
thing
pay for them, too?
The thing is, to clear protocol, you have to practice. That's the last phase. You have to practice and then report no symptoms the next morning. He's not going to practice for the Giants game, right?
No.
Why would he practice when he's not playing?
Exactly.
So he's inside. He'll practice Wednesday, and then Thursday morning he'll be fine. Everybody in the organization, nobody's concerned about it. I mean, to me, it's a 100% shot. He'll be healthy. He'll be out there for the Packers, and he'll be playing.
Yeah, so there you go. I mean, Rube says he has 100% confidence that Hurts is going to play. He says nobody in the organization is really worried about it at all. And also, from what he said about when he ran into Hurts, it certainly doesn't sound like Jalen is still dealing with the effects of a concussion. So I'm going to trust Rube's judgment and say that Jalen Hurts will be out there for this wildcard matchup against the Packers, and in all likelihood, the Eagles are probably just playing it safe with him this past week, but still, we'll get a much better idea when the Eagles get back out on the practice field tomorrow. So if you don't want to miss any of my coverage on that when it happens, as well as any of my other Eagles coverage that I got coming throughout this entire playoff run and also moving forward after that, then make sure you guys subscribe and also really importantly, turn on notifications so you're notified instantly when one of these videos is uploaded. Trust me, you guys are not going to want to miss any of the Eagles coverage I got coming on this channel. I cover the Birds pretty much daily here, so if you want to stay up to date on all the latest Eagles news, this is the spot. So again, subscribe and turn on notifications, and also drop a like on this video because that really helps me out a ton and it takes 2 seconds. Let's see if we can get to 600 likes today. And now, with all that being said, let's get back into the video. Now, even though it seems like Jalen Hurts will return this week, one concern that people still may have is the possibility that maybe he could be a little rusty in the playoff opener after not having played for 3 weeks, but offensive coordinator Kellen Moore doesn't seem to be too worried about that.
Any concern about rust with Jalen after not playing for most of 3 games?
No. I think our guys do an excellent process here as far as, you kind of let the medical side take care of their business, and we do our side of it as far as anything we can do to help anticipate this.
Yeah, I mean, even though Jalen obviously has been limited in regards to what he can do because of the concussion, there is still no doubt in my mind that he has stayed mentally prepared and ready through these past few weeks. So I'm with Kellen in thinking that there won't be much rust, if any at all, and he'll 100% be ready to go when that first playoff game does roll around on Sunday. And speaking of Kellen Moore, we actually did just get some huge news regarding him yesterday, as Mike Garafolo just put out a report that makes it seem like Moore's time in Philly could be limited. As he said, quote, "The Saints have requested permission to interview Eagles offensive coordinator Kellen Moore for their head coaching job, sources say. He'll be eligible to interview virtually next week." And this is happening obviously very early on in the offseason, and there's still many other teams out there that are looking for head coaches, so I highly doubt that this is the only head coaching interview that Kellen Moore is going to get. And if you're the Eagles, this obviously kind of sucks because Kellen Moore has just been a great offensive coordinator for this team, and he's brought so much to this offense, whether it's the improved route concepts or pre-snap motion or how they handle the blitz or Jalen Hurts being utilized under center more. Like, he's just done so much to help this offense. He's added so much, and let's also not forget about the job that he's done in the run game, both with Saquon Barkley, who obviously has had a historic year, but also with Jalen Hurts, as his production running the ball has improved with the help of Moore. So losing the OC this offseason would definitely suck, especially since it would then mean another new offensive coordinator for Jalen Hurts. But all that aside, right now, obviously the important thing for Moore and the Eagles is to just lock in on the playoffs because they have a chance to do something special. And the good news is, it doesn't seem like Moore is letting these head coaching opportunities distract affect him.
Yeah, you don't worry about it too much. Really, the focus on the week, and those things take care of themselves. Obviously, those things only come to teams who usually tend to have success and are doing things well on the field, and so that's where your focus is.
It's good that at least Moore still seems to be locked in on the task at hand as the Birds are trying to go win a Super Bowl right now. But again, if they were to lose him this offseason, that would definitely really suck. And as much as I selfishly hope that he doesn't get a head coaching job and he stays the Eagles offensive coordinator, at least for next season, there's a solid chance that he could be gone when the offseason rolls around. So this whole situation will definitely be something to keep your eye on as we move through the playoffs and towards the offseason. And you guys already know that I'm going to be covering everything regarding that, as well as just all the other Eagles news that's coming throughout this entire playoff run and moving forward after that. So again, make sure you guys subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss anything. And also, make sure you drop a like as well to show some support if you did enjoy this video, because again, it really does help me out a ton, and it takes like 2 seconds. Again, let's see if we can get to 600 likes today. And also, leave a comment down below just regarding anything that I talked about in this video. And if you want to watch another Eagles video going over their win over the Giants and also previewing a little bit their matchup with the Packers, you can check this out right here. And now, with all that being said, that's pretty much all I got for this one, guys. So thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.